Thomas and friends, making tracks to great destinations.
The island of Sodor is surrounded by beautiful blue sea. It has fields of green and sandy yellow beaches. There are rivers, streams, and lots of trees where the birds sing. There are windmills and a coal mine, and docks where visitors to the island arrive. The island also has lots and lots of railway lines. Who's that puffing down the track? It's Thomas! Hello, Thomas! Hello, everybody! Welcome to the island of Sodor.
Summertime is always beautiful on the island of Sodor. The water sparkles in the sun, and beautiful flowers blossom everywhere. It is a busy time for all the engines. They collect lots of vacationers from the docks and show them all the splendid sights. James shows them the seaside. Emily shows them the windmill. Thomas shows them the Sodor Suspension Bridge. The bridge is one of the vacationers' favorite sights. And each night, when the work is done, Gordon, Henry, James, Edward, Percy, and Thomas go back to their home at Tidmouth Sheds. The sheds are where they rest their wheels, cool their boilers, and talk about the day's adventures. The sheds are the engine's home. They are warm and snug, and most of all, they are a cozy place to sleep. One morning, Sir Topham Hatt came to Tidmouth Sheds. He had a very important announcement to make. A new airport is to be built on Sodor. It will bring more visitors to the island than ever before, he told the engines proudly. The engines were very excited. We'll get to see airplanes, puffed Percy. And show even more visitors the sights, chuffed Thomas.
Tidmouth Sheds, the place we love the best. Our boiler's cool, all is peace, but then it's rise and shine, look at the time, 'cause off we go again. We're busy, so many things to do.
Thomas and Percy arrived at the airport building site. They were bringing bricks and timber to the builders. Think of all the vacationers, chuffed Thomas. And of all the airplanes, puffed Percy. But then, Arry and Bert arrived.
Stinky Steamies in the way again,
Mumbled Arry.
Why do we have to work near them?
Grumbled Bert. This made Thomas and Percy cross. They didn't want to work near the diesels either. The diesels were oily, and they were very different than the Steamies. Can you see what is different about steam engines and diesel engines? Thomas is a steam engine. He runs on coal. Now here are Arry and Bert. Do they run on coal? No. They run on diesel fuel. Not like steam engines at all. When Thomas stops, he wishes steam. Do Arry and Bert wish steam? No. Diesels don't make steam. But sometimes they make nasty black smoke. Did you hear that? That's Thomas's whistle. All steam engines have whistles. But what was that noise? It was Arry and Bert honking their horns. Diesel engines don't have whistles. They have horns instead. Steam engines and diesel engines really are very different. Thomas had a busy day. That afternoon, he had to collect some timber from the yard. But when Thomas arrived, Arry and Bert were already there. Their freight cars were being loaded with planks of wood, ready to take to the building site.
We've got a really important job to do,
Boasted Bert.
more important than any Steamie's job,
Added Arry. Thomas was cross. But then he had an idea. A very naughty idea. Thomas rolled quietly up behind Bert's freight cars. And just as the crane dropped the timber, he gave them an extra big shunt. Laughed Thomas. Now you'll be late for your important job. And he puffed away. Later, Thomas and Percy were shunting freight cars in the yard. They were having a wonderful time. They were bumping freight cars and blowing their whistles. Then, Diesel rolled into the yard.
I hear you've been making trouble for Arry and Bert,
Oiled Diesel.
but you won't make trouble for me. I've got an important job to do.
Thomas had another naughty idea. Diesel is waiting to be coupled to a freight car. He is collecting supplies for the building site. There are 3 freight cars. One is full of bricks, one is full of timber, and one is full of bananas. Thomas wants to play a trick on Diesel. Can you help him? One of these freight cars is the wrong freight car to take to the building site. Do you know which one it is? Is it the freight car full of bricks? No. Bricks are very useful for building. They are used to build walls. If Thomas gave Diesel the freight car full of bricks, he would not be playing a trick. What about the freight car full of timber? Is that the wrong freight car to take to the building site? No. Timber is very useful too. It is used for building roofs. Timber is not right for playing a trick on Diesel either. What about the freight car full of bananas? Can you build with bananas? No. Bananas are perfect for playing a trick on Diesel. They are no good for building at all. Although they are very nice to eat. Thomas and Percy were having great fun,